Deep breaths. The first thing I want to tell you about, which is a really awesome opportunity, is while I have everyone here, is this year we are publishing our second version of our magazine, and it's all about our 2023 recap, our Elevate trends. This is something we did last year. It's really fun. So if you would like a copy mailed to your house, Katie hooked us up with a very awesome QR code. So while you're just getting situated and getting your drinks, and yes, elevators, you can also put your name in here too. We will be printing, I think, a few hundred copies, and they went last year. So definitely put your name down on here. That is the official first thing. So while you are getting situated, I would love to hear, where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? Because I know some of our elevators are really international on here. So I always like to see where everyone is from. Okay, we have Los Angeles, California, Savannah, Philadelphia, Wisconsin, Colorado, Boise. Amazing. Hey, Jen Conger. Hamilton, Colorado, Seattle. All right, amazing. So we are going to get started here, and we have a lot. Like, Katie, Dan, and I were meeting this morning. We're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna share a lot of info with you. So we're just going to get started. The other thing we're doing, we always like to do fun things inside of Elevate. So what we wanted to do for this event, if you share on social media and you tag us, Nicole Culver and the Elevated CEO, I don't know, I know I'm small in the corner now, but you can see we are going to pick 3 people. We're going to do a random drawing. We're going to pick 3 people, and we are going to send you one of our client boxes. And it has some really good stuff. If you are in Sedona, you can shout out the boxes. We have a planner. This is a journal. We have our journal, we have our planner, and I'm not going to mess up the whole box, but it's really good. So if you share and you tag us, you can share your takeaways or whatever you want. They're a lot of fun, and really they're client only boxes. So this is the only way, literally, that you can get one. Even that, oh, maybe I should show off the pen. Well, we have it special, and then I promise you we will get started, because I know your time is valuable, but pens and highlighters are fun. This was a very hot topic among our team. We have elevated pen and an elevated highlighter. Okay, so if you are new to us, I would love to know who is brand new, like who just found us maybe from our ad, or who just found us in the past week, and who has been here a while, just found you from your ad. All right, awesome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So a little background about our company. Our whole goal, our whole mission, we help you like run your business and make sales every single week, but our mission is helping founders create wildly profitable and wildly fun businesses. Those are the 2 most important things. And we do this with working on our own terms and working our own hours. At Elevate, we never sacrifice our family. Matter of fact, we show up more for our family and more for the things that truly matter to us. So I wanted to give you some background on this, because we're always going to help you live a better life, not run a business that's going to take away from it. So expectations here, this is our amazing and dedicated and absolutely lovely team at our Sedona retreat that we just had. I wanted to share expectations because this is really important to me. While you are here at this workshop, we are treating you like a client. So what we expect for our clients is for them to show up 100%. And we will show up 100%. So while you're here, we're going to be giving you a lot of information to really help you move your business forward. So show up 100%. Give yourself the gift of being present, of being focused. And if you have questions, we will answer your questions. If you have anything that comes up for you, if there's something that really resonates with you or a takeaway, then share that in the comments as well. So 100. I would love it if you would just give me a yes or an emoji if you are committed to showing up 100% while you are here. Oh my goodness, Jenna, that is funny. Private podcast about a month ago. Oh, my chat is moving quickly, which made me chuckle listening to the podcast about the private podcast because it was almost shut down 6 months before I found it. Okay, amazing. So I would love to know in the chat, what caused you to show up today? Let us know. And part of showing up like a client here is participating. We really ask our clients to show up, to participate, to speak. This is a very safe space. So let us know in the chat why you showed up. What caused you to show up? Evergreen. Awesome. What else? What caused you need more income? Scaling my business, still learning, frustration. Oh my gosh, how many of you have been frustrated with organic lead gen this year? I need to grow my side business. My business partner and I are pivoting. Yeah, so frustrating. Yeah. Okay. We've been hearing this a lot. So I would love to know, and you can just write this down, but how are you making money right now? What are you selling? How are you selling it? So you can just share, this is my primary income driver. Are you selling one-to-one, in a group, private coaching? Okay, amazing. Thank you, Ella. Group course, interior design, learning new sales tactics. What used to work is no longer working. Oh my gosh, 100%. Contracting with coaching, one-to-one. Awesome. So what is your wildest goal? So like I said at the beginning, our whole goal with Elevate is wildly profitable, wildly fun. So I would love for you to give yourself permission. And if you don't want to share this here, then that's fine. But remember, this is a safe space. What is your wildest goal? Money per month. And what I wish, or what I intend, what I see for you is that you're reading this chat and you see expanders here. And back in May, when we went to Katie Woodrick, we went and had a 3-day retreat with Katie Woodrick to plan our next 6 months. Katie was such an expander for me during that time together. And she said something like, well, yeah, that's what it's going to take. And you can totally get to $1 million a month. And no one had ever said that to me before. And in that moment, and this was just in May, I was like, oh my gosh, we could get to $1 million a month. So use this community right here to find your expander. Because if someone says, oh my gosh, 150 a month, and you never even thought about that, well, if you dream it, you can create it. So let us be your expanders for you here. So in 90 minutes together, we're going to show you one thing to focus on that's going to make your wildest revenue number absolutely possible for you. So I always like to get a pulse on the energy and the excitement for the group here. And I can feel how excited you are. But how excited would you be if you could have just one thing? We're going to give you a bunch of things, but one thing that could make this revenue number possible for you. How excited? Scale 1 to 10. 10, 11, 100. Thank you, Megan. There's always Karen, of course. 11. I love the people who say more than 10. 100. Beckett's all my elevators. I love that. So this is our overall framework for Elevate. Now, obviously, we're going to be together 90 minutes, so we're not going to have time to go through all of this, but these are the 3 things that we work on. These are the 3 most important things in your business to have hot leads coming in. And those of you who said you've experienced frustration with lead gen this year, that's what we're going to mainly be talking about today, combined with the weekly sales, is how do I attract more of those hot leads? Because those lukewarm leads that come in, that are hanging around, that really have no intention in working with you further, those are the ones most people tend to spend the most time with, right? But what we want to do is we want to create a hot lead system that are actually converting to weekly sales. And once we have those 2 things figured out, then we move to the scalable service portion of it. So the scalable service, we are really big on. I'm not going to have time to touch on this in here. We'll talk about that more at the end, but these honestly are your 2 foundations. So let's talk about this year, because it is November 9th. We have how many weeks? 6 to 7 weeks left in the year. Obviously, a lot of people take off at the end of the year, but I would love to get a pulse. How do you feel about this year? Was it green? Like, yes, things have been on fire for me this year. My revenue was up, my audience is up, my traffic is up, my conversions are up. Or was it like a yellow where it's like some months were up, some months were down, or was it a red? Yellow, yellow, green, red, yellow. I'm just starting. Red, the opposite of green. Okay. Green. Oh. Okay. All right. And this here, I always want to relieve the pressure from you. This is a roadmap. This is just like Waze. You're just putting in where you are on the roadmap right now. If you know where you want to go, you know your destination, you have to know where you're starting. This is why we're asking you this question, not to say it's good, bad, right, or wrong, but to say, this is my roadmap. This is where I'm starting. And when you know where you're starting, you can get to where you want to get. So 2023 truly has been a year of changes. There's a lot of things that used to work that don't work anymore. And I feel like, I don't know, tell me if you see this too, but there's a lot of CEOs who are burning out and burning down their businesses right now. I feel like every week I'm sending Voxer messages to Katie being like, did you see this person who just shut down their business? Did you see this person who just shut down their program? And what we want to show you is that you don't have to get to that point. Like, there truly is a better way. So even though 2023 has been a year of changes, there is a lot of good, and that's what we want to talk about. But I want to highlight this because I think this is really important. And Taylor Swift has obviously brought a whole new meaning to the word era, that we're all using it now, and we can thank her for that. But right now, online, in the online space, there's a lot of distrust right now. There is a lot of antitrust going on. There's people who are not trusting themselves. There's people who are not trusting businesses. And there's a lot of people who have been burned before. Now, we're not here to talk about whose fault this is. And how many people have either heard or have felt one of these things? How many people are like, I just don't know if I trust myself to get these results. I don't know if I can trust someone else to help me, or I've been burned so many times, or my clients have burned so many times that I'm just hearing this over and over again. I know we have heard a record number of this year. So what do we do when there is so much distrust out there? Well, it's okay, because this is what we're going to talk about, the elevated CEO. When you are in when you're in your elevated CEO era, then you're rising above all of the distrust, because the truth is, all of you here, and I know this, I know all of my elevators who are in the room are the experts of all experts. Truly, 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 truly. They are like the cream of the crop. They are a level of expertise that you don't find other ways. And what we get to do as our elevated CEO is find the messaging and the marketing that matches the level of expertise, because you all are the real deal out there. So things that we have heard and seen out there, and tell me which one of these you have felt the most, like has been almost like a punch to the gut the most, like organic strategies not working like they used to, putting out content and getting very little engagement, leads not resulting in buyers, those like lukewarm leads that just are hanging around. It's Ryan in the picture. Being burnt out because you're doing so much, or worse, like the clients you do have not showing up and not participating. Which of these has been the truth for you this year? Or which of these have you felt the most? Which of these, asked in a different way, which of these are the most frustrating? All of the above before I joined Elevate. Taking forever to buy originally was why I joined. Burning out from doing too much, leads not resulting in buyers, clients not talking back to me. I think those are the most frustrating because I know all of you are putting out such good things, and to put so much time and effort into doing the work and then not having the results, that truly is the most frustrating. So, but these are the highs. This is the good, because it's always both. More people are ready to pay than ever before. And what we see inside Elevate, more people ready to buy, asking less questions. Like, we literally had someone say, like, I cannot believe how little questions I'm getting on my webinars, on my calls. Price doesn't matter, value does. Where it used to be very popular to just load people up with more and more things in your offer, it's actually the opposite now. People place value, people care about the value and the transformation way more than the cost. Buyers are ready to come in and buy fast, and more freedom is the most important to people, and getting time back. And this is what is possible if you know how to set up your funnels, which is what we're going to be getting to today. So the CEOs, you have to be willing, and I see this all the time, is like, yeah, but it used to work. And my response to that is, yeah, but we're not in 2022 anymore. And if you're still running your business like it's 2022 in this era of distrust, you're going to keep sitting on this hamster wheel. So are you willing to stop doing the things that aren't working anymore? And CEOs that do, they will be able to have more fun, wildly profitable, which is truly our goal. And I was just on a podcast interview with one of our clients, and she said, after we were done with the podcast recording, she said, it wasn't until I found you that people started saying to me, I want that. And I literally was like, this is literally what we just taught in Sedona. And she wasn't there. She hasn't seen the recordings. And she said, people are saying to her, I want that. So when you learn how to shift your marketing to talk to this level of distrust, people will start saying to you, I get you and I trust you. And I forgot I put this in here. And this was literally what she just said to me. The right people will literally say to you, I want that. So we're going to talk about how to make that shift. And so what we do at Elevate, our clients will tell us every single week, we're repetitive as anything. If there's one thing that we are, it's consistent. We send a data tracker every single week, and we just compiled the results from last week's data tracker. And so far, cash collected to date, this is not even 100% of our clients, because obviously we only have the clients who participate. Our clients have collected $11 million in 2023, cash collected so far. I have goosebumps from that, because the level of impact, the level of life-changing money that is it leaves me speechless. So what we're going to share with you is the result of this past 2 years. So for us, over 100,000 plus months. And for our clients, over $11 million in cash collected so far. And this data is from them, submitted truly from them every single week. So we wanted to highlight, and I think Nicole just hopped on, perfect kismet timing, hitting consistent $20,000 months. So I won't read for you, but we did want to highlight some of our clients on track to, hi Nicole, to increase revenue by 28% this year, pushing us closer to becoming an 8-figure business. More importantly, Jennifer has majorly stepped into her elevated CEO. So before we get into the funnels, we have a whole framework on really how to step into your elevated CEO. I'm not going to talk about all of these, but Dan, I know you wanted to just say one thing, because I know there's a lot of fear around this.
Yeah. I just want to make sure you can hear me. So The big thing about this training, we could actually, if anyone wants, we could actually record a training for this, and we can send it out to anyone who wants it. And you can just email us, hi at Nicole Culver, and say, give me the elevated CEO training. And if people want it, we'll do it. But the 2-second version of this is, our goal is for you to recognize that most of you are probably in the worker category. You are giving a tremendous amount of value and you are undercharging. You are charging a low price. At the same time, most of you are worried you are in the burner category. You think you are charging too much and not providing enough value. If you worry about being the burner, you are 90% chance not a burner. So what we really need to focus is, we need to get you into this top right quadrant of the elevated CEO. And this is where the CEOs sit who are creative, who are trying new things, who are not afraid to raise their prices, who are not afraid to be creative with their offers and their pricing, and they step into that. And so it's a little bit of a scary spot to be in, because you need to step in and do something different. You have to choose something different. But this is where we see the most success. The other thing I just want to touch on for another second is the generic. The generic is the person who's doing things that worked 5 or 10 years ago. So if you find yourself repeating the same things over and over again and saying, why isn't this working? The reason why it's not working is because times have changed. The same things do not work the same ways anymore, and we need to make changes. So that is why the first thing I said about elevated CEOs is they're creative. We need to try new things. We have a framework that we recommend all of our clients follow, but then part of our job is to be creative so that we can optimize and modify things for our specific clients. Because what we have found is the same thing does not work the same way for every person, surprisingly enough. And so we want to be there with you to customize it and optimize it for you. So I think that's enough, Nicole. If we have any more questions, I can go through it. And again, if you do want to have this training, just shoot us an email, hi@nicoleculver.co, and say, give me the elevated CEO training. And if enough of you reach out, I'll record it.
Yeah, but the biggest thing to take away is that we all want to move into this category. And as we go into 2024, it's going to be more important to step into this category if you especially want to move past the distrust. Megan and Laura, who are also here, they've generated over 200K, and they started in late 2022, and we are constantly reminding them they are in this massive quantum leap, and it has been freaking amazing to watch. And our clients are truly, truly game changers and impact makers with the work that they do. So it's our job to help them get out of their own way so they can help more people. Kayla crossed over the 100K mark in less than 12 months since launching her business. Like, oh, I could talk forever on this, but the whole point is, the elevated CEO has a reputation and a brand for being trustworthy, which is the most important thing, again, in this era of distrust. Has a hot lead system, which is what we're going to be talking about, makes sales weekly, and has systems so every client feels supported so they can scale. We have said over and over at Elevate, we will never sacrifice client results just to grow. That is, client results and service is the #1 value of our company. And that is the thing that keeps us going every single day, because especially when more and more people are coming to us and saying, I have been burned in the past, I have been burned in the past, we can truly say, just like you can see our team here on here today, we will show up for you and we will serve in a way that is unlike any other program, because we know you need to feel safe in a program because of how many other times you have felt burned. So that's how you want to make your clients feel as well. And truly, the elevated CEO keeps that at the forefront of everything they do, because it is so important to build a business that is based on trust. And the best part is, sell when you want, work an hour a day on the important, no family sacrifice needed. Is this a selling thing? So at the end, we'll tell you how you can work with us more. The reason why I'm going through this, which is really important, is so you have context for what we do, and so you have context for our brand. And that's the most important thing, because if we get into the money-making part, but you have no idea about our values, then it probably is going to fall flat for you. So these are our most important things. This is our team. This is our client event. Our goal for our client is to have a 5 to 10 return on ad spend, for them to make sales every single week, for them to work the hours that they have. A lot of our clients are parents. A lot of our clients are caregivers. Some of our clients are single parents. So they have to work within the hours that they have. And we help you build a business that supports that. Which takes us into now the fast cash funnel, which is the reason why you are here. This funnel, like we said, has been responsible for a lot of millions of dollars of business. And this truly is how you get hot leads into your business. Because remember, we don't want to just get those lukewarm leads. We want to get hot leads. So Dan, I'm going to throw it to you.
Okay. So what I wanted to jump into before the first piece of the fast cash funnel is talking to the right audience, and making sure they are talking back and making sure we're talking to the right people. So Nicole, I think I'm going to take over control.
Okay.
So I'm just going to share my screen. Just one second. Yeah. So what we are looking for with the fast cash funnel is hot leads coming in who are ready to buy. And how we do this is really targeting our rich niche. And the purpose of this is to get more sales. And I think this is one thing that crazy enough, a lot of people miss. They think the purpose of running ads is to collect leads, but the purpose of running ads, the purpose of having a business is actually to get sales. So the whole point of the fast cash funnel is to get more sales. And what we did when we built this for ourselves and when we built it for our clients, we actually did it backwards. We started with the premise, we want to get more sales, not we want to get more leads. And once we started getting more sales, then we went back and we actually engineered it backwards. We worked backwards. We worked from the bottom up. Most people work from the top down. They say, I need to make money. I'm going to go build a landing page. We say, no, if you need to make more money, go make an offer. And this is a little crazy to people, but it works. And we're going to walk you through how and why today. So my first question is, how confident are you that there are buyers in your audience right now? So if you were to, I don't know, send an email, hold an event, post on Instagram, in your audience, do you think you have buyers? Green would be, yes, I have plenty of buyers. I'm very confident I have buyers. Yellow is maybe, and red would be absolutely not. I do not have any buyers in my audience. Oh, sweet. Lots of greens, lots of elevated greens, which is even better. In orange, I also love creative colors. So anything on the color spectrum that you would like to represent your audience with, I will accept. Okay, so lots of greens, some yellows, and that's okay. So like Nicole said, this is really just to take a pulse on where our business is now, and we're gonna move from there. So today we're going to show you our fast cash funnel. There's actually 3 different iterations. When we started planning the event, we said, okay, let's show them the fast cash funnel. Then when we got into actually delivering the content, we said, well, we can't really just do 1. We're going to have to do 3. And so we're going all in. We're going to show you it all today. And our funnel walks you through content to sale. And before we get into the content, before we get into selling, we need to talk about something, and it's who you are talking to. So have you ever heard, and I'd be interested, like you could put this in the chat. Yes. Have you heard this? I'm too busy. I can't afford this, or I'll do this later, whether it's next week, next month, those dreaded words of, oh my gosh, this is perfect, but this is later.
And I think when you've been in a launch, how many people have heard like, oh my gosh, this has been the best content ever. Thank you so much. And then they leave. obviously we hear these things too, but it's any iteration of this where it's like, oh my gosh, you're so amazing, you helped me so much, and then they ghost you. Or the, I'm too busy, I can't afford this, I'll do this one day, I'm going to get back to you after the new year. That's like everyone's thing right now. I'm going to get back to you after the new year.
Krista, that's a great one, which I've never heard of before, but that's so funny. It's like they go through your whole launch, it comes to buy, and they're like, when are you launching again? It's like, really? Anyway, I digress. The reason why you've heard this is you are not targeting, and by targeting, I mean talking to. You are not speaking to your rich niche. There are some other nuances we can go into. We can talk about money magnet words. We can talk about a few different things, but today I just want to keep it as simple as possible. You're not targeting your rich niche. And when you start targeting, when you even just start talking to a different person, everything in your business can change. And what I mean by that is that when you understand who your rich niche is, your content is going to change, but also your offer is going to change. Also, how you offer your offer, how you sell your offer, how you create your content, the content you create, everything changes. But it has to start with understanding who your rich niche is and how to talk to them. So I'm going to switch again. I'm going to switch to my iPad this time because I just want to draw something out. And I promised Nicole I would do this quick, but I wanted to just share this. So this is a pretty intricate design. It is a circle. This represents your entire audience. Now, when we are talking to our rich niche, there's something we have to assume is that there are ingredients that we need our people to have. Now, I'm not going to go into this today. For the last 2 years or so, we've been saying you need to find your rich niche. What Nicole and I have uncovered in the last 6 months is you can actually create your rich niche. So the way that we usually talk about this is, for right now, the easiest way to assume is we have to accept that there are certain ingredients our audience needs to have in order to buy from us. And not only in order to buy from us, but in order to take any type of action with our content. And so I'm just going to divide this audience. So if this is our whole audience, this is our entire audience. I'm just going to divide this in half. And this first one is based on motivation. So there's a section of our audience that has a desire to change. They want to make a change in their life. On the opposite side, we have a section of our audience who has no desire to change. Now, the other thing we're going to divide, and I'm just going to make this even, we're going to divide this based on action. Specifically, what happens when our people take action? There are some people who thrive, and then there are some people who struggle. Now, when we look at this, we can see that there's 4 quadrants. And if I'm just going to kind of talk through these different quadrants and talk about what happens when we talk to the different quadrants. When we start here on the bottom right, I'm just going to use purple. These are the people who are doing well and have no desire to change. And what's interesting about these people is that when you speak to them, they could actually not care less about what you have to talk about. They're doing well and they have no desire to change. I always tell the story that we had a Facebook ads agency. I would get on sales calls, and occasionally I would talk to someone who has, usually they were some type of blogger. They had a ginormous audience, and I would get really excited and I'd be like, oh my gosh, do you know what we could do with your audience and with Facebook ads? And they would say, sure, tell me about it. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, we could do this, 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 and this. And they'd be like, yeah, I don't care. I'm fine. And I'd be like, what? I would just like almost stumble off the call. Like, wait, I've heard I can't afford this. I've heard I'm not interested, but they just didn't care. And so that's not the most fun call, but it's not that bad because most of us don't talk to that many people. Where it gets a little ugly is when we flip to the bottom left. These are the people who are struggling and they also have no desire to change. Now, if you sell to these people, you are not going to get sales. Now, The problem with this is when we analyze the marketing out there, we estimate 80% of the marketing is speaking to this quadrant. Nicole, I'm going to wrap it up in 1 second. Nicole just messaged me like, you're doing the whole thing, really?
I have so much to get through.
I know. So this is the basis for everything, though. And this is why I wanted to go through this. So most people are focusing here. And what we've been told is that we need to get better at marketing to convince these people to buy. When we convince people to buy, we also have to convince them to take action. So these people are actually the worst clients because they don't take action with our content inside of our program. So this leads to worse results inside of our program. It leads us to lacking confidence inside our program. And it leads to us actually like really thinking, are we good enough? Can we actually make this thing even work? Now, the core of this is if we just spend more time speaking to this top quadrant, we will speak to our rich niche. These are the people who will make fast decisions. Fast decisions meaning they will buy faster. They will take action faster. They will take action on your free stuff. They'll take action on their paid stuff, and they will get better results. This leads to more confidence and just more overall goodness in your business. I can't stress this enough. And this is why, if you do nothing else, go out and start trying to speak more to your rich niche. Now, if you can do this, we can show you the funnels that are going to take these people from content to sale in a matter of days. So I'm going to move on. Is the rich niche audience is our ready to buy right now people. And when we focus our content on that, and then we focus our sales system on that, we can get sales all the time. And when we do this consistently, we can grow an audience of people who are more likely to buy faster, which is what all of us want. So I wanted to just kind of run through the evolution of our Facebook ads, because honestly, this is the easiest way for you to see how our messaging has changed. In this is just a simple Facebook ad. This is January, is that 2021, Nicole? It must be. Yeah.
2021, it would, no, this would probably be 2022, actually.
Okay, so a year or two ago, this was the ad we were running. In this guide and training, I'll show you specific content to create hot audience. Now, what is interesting about this is a pretty good ad. Like, this has some great content. I think the copy's decent. I mean, we created it, so obviously I think it's pretty good. But the point of it is that we got really cheap leads with this. Like, this performed really well from a Facebook ads management spot. But what happened was none of these people were buyers. What we actually figured out with this ad is that our perfect person doesn't want a larger audience. They actually want a more engaged audience, and they wanted more sales, and they wanted more consistent sales. So we evolved this. The second piece was, what if we talked about creating a group program? And this was something that we love talking about. However, no one cared. No one wanted to hear about this. So this was another swing and a miss. What really started working is when we started talking about evergreen sales, getting consistent sales. Now, this is one of the first ads for us that really took off. But what I mean by that was low cost per lead, low cost per purchase. And this is where we really started getting about a 5 to 7 to 10 times return on ad spend every single week. And what it showed us was, oh my gosh, we're onto something. So we doubled down and we spoke more to what our rich niche wanted, which was consistent sales without launching. Now, we just kind of kept improving it, working on it, getting it better, making better. This is the same. Oh no, this is a new opt-in, but this is our evergreen magic machine. So this was just a really cool name. And it was just explaining the simple funnel to get 5 high-ticket evergreen sales this week from your existing audience without ads or any new content in just 15 minutes a week. That sentence has made us about $300,000 just from Facebook ads. It's the same sentence that's on our landing page. it crushed. It did so extremely well. And then I wanted to just add in one more, because this is just us still testing, optimizing, and improving. Now we're working, the Secret Podcast is one of our new opt-ins. Well, it's not really new anymore. It's about 8 months old. But we're just always testing out new opt-ins, and we're always testing out new messaging to see, is this going to get sales? Any questions on this?
I was just going to say this one is new because this is the behind the scenes
Oh,
of
it is?
the podcast.
Yes. So actually, yeah. So this is actually 2 more iterations. We had a Secret Podcast, and then we have behind the scenes on Secret Podcast. So this is just always us testing and iterating with our rich niche. I don't show this to you so you guys can like go make a Facebook ad, because I really want to bring it back to simplicity, but I just wanted to show you as examples of messaging, how we're just constantly iterating and making changes and improving and making slight tweaks. None of these are drastic changes. They're just optimizations. They're just tweaks. And that's really what we want to focus on, are the tweaks that we need to make in order to improve our business. Any questions on this? Okay. All right. I don't see any questions.
There was a question about there was a question that I would love to open up about at the end, about like your rich niche doesn't know that they're your rich niche yet. I'm going to find it. You keep going.
Okay.
And find it.
All right, great.
My rich niche doesn't realize that they are yet. I would say that's either, we can talk about this at the end, but they're either not problem aware or solution aware yet, which means you need to do some work either in your targeting or your content. Yeah. Most likely your targeting.
Yeah. Yep. So actually, the answer to that question is this next piece, is where, so if you are not sure if your rich niche knows they're your rich niche, if you're not sure if you can target your rich niche, this is why these fast cash funnels are so important, is because it doesn't matter if you think you know who your rich niche is or you think you do not know who your rich niche is. The data will tell you what you know. And this is why it's so important that we build these feedback loops of how quickly we can iterate and make changes to this. So when we build a fast cash funnel, the goal is to get hot leads to buy now. And this creates the leads for you. This should create the sales for you. And if it does not, then we just make some changes and tweaks, which I'm going to walk you through. So just like a few people have asked what evergreen is, some people ask what is a funnel. A funnel is quite simply a way to take leads and start conversations with them and have that conversation lead to some type of sales event. That sales event is where you do an offer, and then hopefully we get a sale. When we analyze the funnel, we just need to know, what are the percentages? If we can understand the percentages, then we can start calculating success rate, Facebook ad spend, all that jazz. But this is the easiest way, the most simple way to understand what a funnel is. Is everyone on the same board with this? Okay. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we build our funnel backwards. We start from the bottom and we work our way up. So we start asking ourselves, how can we get more sales? Well, we need to work on our offer first, and then we go up from there. So what the results of this are 12 six-figure months in Elevated, plus over $11 million in client sales in 2023. This is the simplest way to make money online, because we are not overcomplicating it until we have everything dialed in. So many people start with the most complicated way to make sales. We are trying to eliminate all barriers between us and getting cash in the door. And so the way we do this is we really just start simple. So I just wanted to share a few more wins before we get into the nuts and bolts. These are some of the wins from our impact report. So this is based on what people have been able to do just with this fast cash funnel. Took our entire summer family on vacation, crossed over $100,000 in coaching. We went to Hawaii for 2 weeks while still serving the group. This helped me see what was possible when my program has been grown and scaled. So this first fast cash funnel, this is what we call the test. This is what we come back to when we need data, when we are unsure if our messaging is working. So many people ask us, they say, I don't know if my messaging is working. Our answer to this is very simple. You have to do our fast cash funnel, which is the test, and that is a hand raiser to a sales call.
And it was brought up in the chat, like, oh, this is the simplest that I ever heard. What I'm going to say to you is this may seem so simple, and this is what works. What we are continually trying to do is remove complication. This whole online world teaches so much complication to make money in your business. We are literally the opposite of complication. We are literally trying to remove our clients, stop our clients from doing so many things that aren't producing results. So you're going to want to screenshot these next few slides, because we are going to give you specifics on what you can do.
When we were creating this, I was like, oh my gosh, do we need to do like an NDA before we release this? Because this could easily make you $10,000 over the weekend. Holly, thank you so much for asking this, because I knew this was gonna come up. Everyone here is gonna say, oh, I hate sales calls. I don't have time for sales calls. If you are not making money, you better make time for sales calls. Sorry, I'll tone it down. You have the opportunity to take sales calls. If you are not making sales, we can figure the rest out later. If you have a problem that your messaging is not connecting and you are not getting sales, you do not have a scaling problem. You have a sales problem. The easiest way to solve a sales problem is to talk directly to your people and get them on a sales call. Sales call has the highest close percentage. It has the best way to discover messaging. It has the best way for you to talk to people and uncover, hey, do I have what you want? Yes or no. If they say no, no skin off my back. I'm going to come back a week later with a better offer, a different offer. So this is now everyone's second question is going to be, what is a hand raiser? Well, you are in luck. This is a hand raiser. Feel free to screenshot this, feel free to steal it. I would actually love it if you would go on to Instagram or whatever the kids are on these days and post this right now, send an email. If this is uncomfortable for you, then you should do 3 of them today. So the deal is you are directly asking people if they want your help. Now, these are incredibly direct. You cannot use these forever. We have about 9 different iterations, and then the sky's the limit based on changes to this. But I'm just going to read through it. So if you are ready to blank, if you're ready to get some result, make $1 million, lose 10 pounds, learn how to read, whatever, and want the step-by-step, reply back, pick a word, and I'll send you the info. If you want to add something in, if you're serious, oh wait, this is an example. If you're serious about setting up your evergreen system to add 10K a month or more and want the step-by-step reply back funnel, and I'll send you the info. That's just an example. The second option is I'm looking for blank who want some blank within the next time period. If that's you, reply back word and I'll send you the info. Pretty much the same idea. These are very blunt. However, if you have never done one of these before, there's no guarantees in life, but you'll make money off this. And if you don't, then we know that your messaging is not talking to the right person. And so that's cool too. If you do this and you do not get sales, you are not a terrible person. You do not need to shut down your business. You just need to make some tweaks and you need to come back and try something a little bit different. I was actually just talking to a client about this today. And I said, look, one of the downsides of our program is that you get to see the results. And if you're not getting results, you have to keep the scientist hat on, and you have to continue to make some iterations and make some changes. And most of our clients are extremely heart-centered. They want to serve, they want to do everything that their people need. And it's our job as the consultants to help them figure out what their people want so that they can give them what they need. Jennifer, that's awesome. 5 sales just from this approach when joining. This is just another example of this. People always ask, where do I do this? Do I do this on Instagram? Do I do an email? Do I do it on Facebook? The answer is yes, all of it. Do it everywhere. The more places you can do it, the more chances you're going to have success. And if you don't have success on any of them, it's more confirmation that it's your messaging and it's not a platform specific problem. So this is just another example of this. Again, take a screenshot if you want to check it out, but that's it. So who is this for? When should I do this? When should I stop? If we're ever looking to test something, we start with a hand raiser. If we have an idea for a new opt-in, we start with a hand raiser. If we have an idea for a new offer, we start with a hand raiser. This is always what we come back to when we have to test something. It's also something we always come back to when we feel our messaging is off. Something that I think a lot of people miss is they think that there's going to be some magical day in the future where their messaging is done. They never have to touch their messaging again. Unfortunately, that's not true. At least I have not experienced that. Our messaging is always evolving. It depends on the seasons. It depends on the time. It depends on what's going on in the world. So sometimes, as much as Nicole and I try to keep a pulse on our messaging, we get off course. And sometimes we will notice our results are slipping and we will say, well, we got to back it up. We got to come back to hand raisers. Let's go back to simple. Let's just post a hand raiser, get people on sales call. It's just a simple, it's like a security blanket. It's just what we come back to all the time. So why would you do this? Get data. I know I talked a lot about sales. Yes, sales are fun. Getting money is fun. The most important piece of this is data. Can we get people to respond? Yes or no? When people respond, can we get them to buy? Yes or no? This is how we get data. It also is going to start conversations. Conversations lead to a number of ahas about your messaging. So you get to test out your messaging. You get to test out your offer. When you stop is when you run out of time. We actually, Megan and Laura, when they joined the program, they did one hand raiser. They got over 1,000 responses. And I said, well, you're never going to do that again. That was awesome, but never again. So they don't really do hand raisers anymore. They do other things. So it really depends on, we learned quickly. Exactly. So if you feel overwhelmed by answering too many conversations and having too many sales calls, that's awesome. Now we can start discussing scaling. But I think too many people go scaling first. And this is where we get into funnel number 2. So am I going too fast? Does anyone have any questions? Nicole's probably going to say yes. All right. So this next piece is how we can slowly scale up. And so the first piece, again, hand raiser. The second piece, or the third piece, again, is sales call. But the middle piece is we are going to qualify these people with sell by chat. Now, inside our program, we have an entire chat script that we give you that you just go through. So we don't have that today. We didn't have the time. And it's just a little overwhelming to go through. But the basic premise of sell by chat is to qualify, is to take people who respond to your hand raisers and make sure they are the best fit for your program. If you believe they are, then you take them to a sales call. It's basically gathering data, qualifying before a sales call, and then you sell. The point of this is if you're doing 10 sales calls a week and you're closing half of them, the point of this is to get 5 sales calls a week and close 80% of them. So your close percentage goes way up. So your sales can continue to roll in, but you can do a lot less. You can do a lot less sales calls. Who is this for? Oh yeah, I added this in. The other crazy thing that some of our clients did is better at this than we are, and they started selling in the sell by chat. So we primarily for our own business use sell by chat to qualify. A lot of our clients have started selling by chat. Like they don't do sales calls, they just sell in the DMs. So anyone, this is for anyone, especially anyone who can sell directly via chat, that's definitely advanced. Whenever you need a cash infusion, you stop when you have more demand for sales calls than you have space to do sales calls. This is so overlooked. If you have more demand for sales calls than you have space to do sales calls, your marketing is on point, your audience is on point, and you're rolling. Most people are like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. I'm like, this is awesome. First things first, tell your audience, hey, I'm running out of space for sales calls. Secondly, move on to the next step. The other advantage of sell by chat is you can have a lot more conversations with your audience. And again, keep your finger on the pulse, learn about messaging, learn what they're saying, literally take words that they're telling you, use it in your content. It is such a cheat code. And then you can only do sales calls, or you only need to do sales calls with those who are qualified. These two things have been the simplest thing that we do all of the time to get consistent sales. Everyone wants to talk about Facebook ads to some automated webinar with a deadline funnel with all these automations and gadgets. It's just simple. We can always go more complicated, but if you are struggling to make cash or you're struggling to break through a plateau, this is what we need to break down to. Get sales, then make it more scalable. Now, this is the third piece of this, and I just kind of wanted to touch on scalability because I know there would be some questions around this, is what happens when we start getting more interest in sales calls than we have space for sales calls. First of all, congrats. Like, this is a huge moment in your marketing to know, hey, I'm targeting my rich niche. I'm using the right messaging. People are responding. So you're going to see some familiar things. We're going to start with a hand raiser. We are still going to do sell by chat. And then we're going to take them to a brainstorm. A brainstorm is something we created about 2.5 years ago because Nicole and I never imagined that we would run out of space for sales calls. It wasn't in our reality that we would actually get to a space that we had more people who wanted to talk to us than space to do it. And when we got there, we were like, okay, well, we don't want to have a sales team and we don't want to stop doing sales calls. So what do we do? So we created this brainstorm, which is basically a scaled up sales call. It's a sell to a group. And when you have this tools to do good sales calls, when you get doing well at sales calls, it's a natural, easy transition to do brainstorms, and it works incredibly well. Now, who is this for? Those who want to scale and those who have mastered your messaging. When you are going to get more than one person onto a sales call, your messaging really needs to be on point. You really need to know who you're talking to. You really need to know what words you're using to get people motivated and taking action. And you also need to have your sell by chat script going really well. And when you stop is never. This is the one thing that I don't see why you would ever stop doing. If you can show up 1 hour a week and get sales without doing sales calls, why would you ever stop? So that would be my recommendation. So what I want to ask is what changes when you do this? Is not only do you get more buyers, but you actually start building a list that has more buyers in it. So you are getting sales more often. You're getting more people who are more likely to buy on your list. And then you're bringing out different ways to talk to these people, to have conversations with these people that are going to result in more sales. Anything to add, Nicole, or should I pause for questions?
Yeah, let's just pause for a second because I would love to see out of these 3 funnels that Dan shared, the simple hand raiser funnel, the sell by chat funnel, and the brainstorm funnel. I would love to hear which is the one that you could implement right now in your business. And remember, we're simplifying, we're not overcomplicating. Chances are you have people who are sitting in your audience now who are waiting. Okay, raise hand, the hand raiser, hand raiser, hand raiser. Yeah, awesome. Amazing. Brainstorm. Yeah. And for those of you who know that, okay, it would take a lot of sales calls to get to where you need to be. That's exactly why we start with the foundations of the hand raisers with the sales calls and then scale up. Many of our clients who came in who have been selling at scale, they just make some tweaks and they follow the systems and they don't even need to do the sales calls.
Yeah.
What is a good lead time for it?
Tiffany, can you give us a little bit more information? If you're asking like, how long does this take to get set up? I would say no time at all. If you have something, if you have an ability to collect money from people, you can do this now. If you do not, then you have to go get that set up in the next 10 minutes and then you can go. So that's what I would do, is just keep it as simple as possible. You don't need to build landing pages or build complicated funnels. You just need to go out and talk to your audience.
And we
So
do all of this selling from Google Docs. We do not have a sales page. It is so incredibly simple.
yeah.
Zoom is the most complicated thing we do.
And we struggle with it a lot.
So our whole goal is to help you set up these three systems. So go ahead, Dan, you could talk through that.
Yeah, the rich niche lead system, I went into a little bit too much detail, but this is how you attract hot qualified leads now who are ready to buy. The fast cash funnel is the different funnels that we are going to install in your business so that you can convert leads into sales in 10 days or less. The kind of corollary to this is that you're going to learn to sell faster with fewer words and less convincing than you ever have before, because we are incredibly direct. And then go ahead.
I wanted to talk about the bleeding problem for a second, because this was something that came up. If you're saying something like, oh, my people don't even know what they're capable of, which was what was said earlier, or my people don't realize, my people don't know, my people aren't buying, then you probably have, which is what we go into in Elevate, what we go into teaching you in the 7-to-7 formula, you probably have a bleeding problem. And what we mean by bleeding problem is because a lot of the people we work with are experts. And when you're an expert, you have a level of expertise that you're like, I know what you need so much better than you know what you need, right? Like, how many of you feel like that with your prospects, where you're like, I know what you need and it's not what you're asking for? How many people? Yeah. So this is like expert disease. Because if someone walked into a hospital, and go with me with this analogy, if someone walked into a hospital, they walked into an emergency room and they were bleeding, and a doctor came up to them and said, what's your diet like? How much are you exercising? The person who walks in is literally going to be like, I'm bleeding. Please just fix the bleeding. But if the doctor's sitting there like, let's talk exercise, you're like, no. And they would leave and find someone else very quickly. That's what a lot of you are doing in your marketing. You're not talking about the problem that is literally keeping them up at night, that they just want to fix the bleeding. And it does not need to be a literal life or death problem, but there is a problem that your prospect wants to fix right now. And if you're not talking about the problem that they want to fix and the solution that they think that they need, then that's where that disconnect comes from. So this is what we fix inside. That's like the first thing we fix inside of Elevate, is we figure out what is your bleeding problem. Because for a lot of people, they know the saying, oh, like, give them what they want and then, or sell them what they want and give them what they need. We all know that cliche saying, but you don't know it. Like, if you're having these problems, then you don't truly know it. Because if you knew it, you'd be able to sell to your rich niche.
And then, yeah, so then the last piece that we talked about is Nicole talked a lot in the beginning about time. And so one of the problems that a lot of our clients run into is like, hey, I'm getting more leads, I'm getting more sales, and I want to get people better results. How do I do this without getting into burnout? Well, that's where the third system comes in, is the scalable sales system, is getting better client results, increasing retention, and getting back your time. So really it's both the selling and the delivery of your system so that you can get more sales, and then you can also get better results and get your time back.
So what we help you with if you decide to work with us, and on this QR code is our application. So when you work with us inside Elevate, this is exactly what we help you install with the 7-to-7 formula. The hot lead system, which is the rich niche lead system, the fast cash funnels, and scalable service. Now, this is literally a customized, personalized plan. So we only have 10 spots because you literally work with us, and you can see our team here that has showed up just to support you through this training. We told you we were going to treat you like clients in this training, and we'll have time for questions. We only have 10 spots because we literally do one-to-one calls with you. So if you want to apply to learn more, then just scan the QR code, which I hope works. You can tell me if it works. But we
And
only,
Katie can put in the chat too.
oh yes, that would be good. We did test this, but like I said, Zoom's the thank you, Christine. Christine's also on our team. So we only have 10 spots because it's a personalized program where you get one-to-one support. And we know that you need a safe space, and we are a safe space to help you set up these three systems. So you can scan that, and we ask you to apply. And the reason why we ask you to apply is because we take this very seriously, and we only work with businesses that we know we can help.
Yeah. And yeah, so if you do have any questions, fill out the application. I have spots open up tomorrow to chat. So on the thank you page, we can hop on a quick call, we can chat, and then we can go through. Now, when you become the elevated CEO, we are helping you with your content that's building you as the #1 in your niche. With your rich niche, you have hot leads coming in every single day. And the metric that we are measuring is sales every week. Are you getting sales every single week? If you are, that's great. How do we get more? If you are not, that's also okay. But what do we need to fix to get you there? You know your exact moment of yes for your people, and you're working towards it. You also understand the data. You understand what goes in, what actions you need to be taking to get the results that you want. And then you have the systems so that you can have the team to scale profitably and pleasurably. This is a big piece that we want to work on, is that we do want to stay ahead of you, and we want to solve the next problem while we're working on the current problem. So we don't want to solve every problem you're ever going to have in business at one time, but we do really want to work on the current problem and the next problem. And we do that very well. And
going back to that slide, remember where I said the client who just interviewed me on her podcast, which was Catherine Beck, she's gonna publish the podcast, so I can say her name, but she said, my people are coming up to me and saying, I want that. Like, that is the point we want to get you all to. And that's our goal with our clients, is to get you to the point that you say, I want that.
Awesome.
Yay. And we can celebrate that Ashley officially registered. So that is one spot.
I was going to say down to 9.
It's really cool.
Okay. The other piece of this is bigger audience, more sales, better client results, client staying longer. We just had a call yesterday with a group, with our program, talking about renewals. And so we are going to walk you through everything to build a profitable business. And that involves having a larger audience, being the #1 go-to source in your audience, getting more sales from your audience, getting better results from those sales, and then having those people stay around longer. This is how we create a profitable business that has the ability to scale with you having even less time in the business. The bonus that we are doing is in 2024, we have the Elevated CEO Vision Casting. That's going to be in January. We have our $1 Million Mindset event. And then we're doing a messaging workshop. Actually, Katie Soy is going to be leading this, Mastering Your Messaging, a workshop for elevating your content to the yes. And so in addition to all of these virtual events, you are also going to get one-to-one calls with myself or our advisors so that we can optimize and customize the system to you and your business. And so basically every 30 to 45 days, we are meeting one-to-one to go through your plan to make sure that it's working for you. And this is in addition to everything else inside the program, our pods, our group calls, our trainings. So this is a really great offer. We would love to talk with you about it and see if you are the right fit. What we are looking for in terms of clients is if you can get your people results, we can take your business to 7 figures. And so if you are confident you're getting results and you just need help getting more sales, allow us to help you. If you are not getting your people results yet, you're probably not the best fit for the program, but we're still happy to chat and see if there's some way we can support you. So I would recommend you, if you have any questions, I can hang out and chat with them now. Nicole, we also talked about maybe doing a few kind of like funnel breakdowns or like breakout rooms. So we can do that as well. But before we go any further, are there any questions?
Well, the next slide is a very exciting slide. So don't miss that one. Live in-person event.
Oh, yes. So we can announce now that we will be hosting another live event, the Elevated CEO brand, creating a movement in the great state of New York in March. So this is also included when you sign up. It's amazing. It is going to be so much fun. All of you current clients, yes, you're invited. You're there. We can't wait to see you there. If you are not with us, this is a great opportunity to jump in now, get started on the system so we could celebrate and up level with you in New York in March.
The app is on the next page. Again, if you didn't get a chance, like we said, now we only have 9 spots because Ashley just signed up, which is super exciting. I did want to bring up, so screenshot this so you have it. The link is also in the chat, but I did want to share, Christian asked about the data tracker. And I think this is really important. Like we said, we are committed to all of our clients' success. So we ask our clients every single week to submit this data tracker. It is very, very simple. And we have going on, which you can see our team here. We have accountability pods, and the accountability pods are based on what you need help with. The most number one your most number one focus for the next 6 weeks. We just started. And our team leads these pods, so you can get the very specific help. So this is, it basically gives you questions based on what you ask, but it truly is very simple. But every Tuesday we meet as a team and we discuss every single person who has filled out a data tracker. And then we make sure that their questions are answered every single week, whether that is in the Facebook group, on a pod, on a live call, on a live, or in email. So this is very important. And this truly is that 100-100 that we talked about at the start of the meeting. I know you have a Facebook ads question.
Yeah. So does this semi-automated system involve Facebook ads? So yes and no. If you want to run Facebook ads, you can. We actually recommend that most clients start without Facebook ads because we do want to test that messaging. We're also really big on return on ad spend. We want you to make money when you run Facebook ads. It's not a charity. So we do want you to have that cash coming in. We also want you to be confident that if you get more leads, you can convert those leads into sales. So most of our clients are up to 10 or 15,000 a month without Facebook ads. And at that point, they do have the profit that they can start investing in Facebook ads. Although some of our clients invest a lot sooner than that. They're comfortable with Facebook ads. And so we never say no, but it's not a requirement. So there was a question on how much is the investment. So what we're doing right now is the program is $15,000 for 6 months. Because it's the end of the year, we're actually extending that for through 2024. I was going to say 2 months, but it's a little bit less than 2 months now. So you can join now and you get access through the year, through the rest of the year as a bonus. And then your time officially starts with us in January. So you would get almost 8 months inside the program. You'd get access to the live event in New York. You would get access to the one-to-one calls. We would start working with you right away. And it's a great time to join to get those results at the end of the year and build up momentum for the start of next year. So that is the investment. Obviously, if you have any more questions, we can talk through it. Oh wow, look at that. Krista made her investment back in less than 2 weeks. Learn with Dr. Jeans. How do you get customers if you don't do Facebook ads? Well, we start with what you have and then we go from there. So everyone has an audience. If you have 100 people you can talk to, you can get sales. And then once you learn your messaging, we can start with Facebook ads to grow that audience. Any other questions? So Jenna, that's a great question. Is messaging all focused on Instagram and Facebook? We're actually not platform specific. So we always recommend to do the social media platform that you enjoy the most. And we are going to help you with that messaging. And then obviously we are going to go from there. So Katie Soy's still on here. I don't know if Katie, can I put you on the spot, Katie, and talk a little bit about messaging? Oh, look at you. You already put it in the chat. You're ahead of the game. Oh, you need to be allowed. Oh,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I was just putting that in the chat. That's a really great question because we believe that your messaging is not just like social media posts. Not that that's an important growth strategy, but your messaging is your whole brand and your core values and your stories and the way that you stand out. Like messaging is what makes you a thought leader in your space. And that's not just on social and it's not just on your email list, right? So it's everything. So I would say that the structures that we teach and that we help you test are not platform specific. It's for your entire brand. So we look at stuff that can be related to your emails, your social. We have people that are doing speaking events and they're incorporating their messaging and building demand for their programs and selling in their speaking events. So we look at it from a much bigger picture perspective from the whole brand.
Thank you, Katie. And we've had a lot of people who do Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. We've had some people on TikTok as well. So it really depends on wherever you are. Oh yeah, Kayla, thank you. I thought that was a question, but that's more of a comment. Awesome. Have not run ads, been in Elevate since May and made more than 6 times my investment so far. All right, that works. Tiffany, do you coach around ads inside the program? We hit 7 figures with ad sets. Find them scary. Yes, we do. We have a whole module on Facebook ads. We even do some one-to-one calls on Facebook ads. So if you want to use Facebook ads, we would support you with that. And we talk about ads inside the program a lot in terms of how to set them up, how to review your data, how to scale them, what's a good ad, what's a bad ad. So yeah, we do a lot of talk.
And also how to run them very conservatively. We are very conservative with our ads and we want to make sure we're making money from them. So that's really important.
Yeah. And when we start our ads, one of the first metrics is, can we get a sale within 14 days? So we don't measure, obviously cost per lead is important, but we're really looking at sales. Are the ads we are running resulting in sales? So that's really the metric we're always looking at. But great question, Tiffany.
Katie, so I love how you have an exclamation mark in there and your team elevated. Oh, Katie Woodrick does too. You're very excited. Katie, Katie Soy, would you want to talk a second about how you run the messaging calls that you do per month? Because I know that that's like a hot topic for people. Oh, do you need permission again?
There you go.
Okay, sorry.
I need permission. Yeah, so we do a monthly messaging call, and we actually do kind of a workshop style approach to these. Like, I make you do work on the call. And so we alternate every month. We'll do like a deep dive training slash workshop, and then other months we have just like very deep hot seats. So people can come on and go, hey, I tried this, it didn't work. I'm testing this, this is new, right? So you really have not just me, but our whole advisory board there when you take things out to market and get the crickets or have issues, and you've got our whole team here to come back and go, hey, let's rework it, let's reframe it. So with our monthly messaging calls, yeah, we have people that submit questions, we do workshops, we do trainings. Again, we don't cover like anything that's specific to one sort of platform. It's more like structures for different types of content. We teach 3 types of content, and we also do a lot of stuff that focuses on storytelling and your connection with your audience and kind of sharing from a heart-centered place. So it's not salesy messaging, it's not bro marketing, it's very heart-centered and authentic. We want you to be in a place where you're being yourself and you're being you. So that's what we focus on those calls as well.
And then Christian had a question. So after they raise their hands, how do they buy? We get them to book a call. Is it a connect or discovery call? I mean, yeah, that's kind of the fastest way is yes, you chat with them, and then you offer, if you think you can solve their problem and you want to work with them, you want to help them, then you just say, hey, I think I can help your I think I can help you with this problem, or I think I can help you get that result. Would you want to hop on a quick call and chat through it? And I mean, we have a framework for all of that. We have a sales call process. We have the chat script. We have everything there for you to follow along with. And but that's the long and the short of that. And that's the other thing that we should mention is that basically everything we ask you to do in the program, we have a script for, we have a template for, we have the how, what, and why. How do you do this? Why are we doing this? What do we actually do? So that you can get things done a lot faster. So the 6-month access to the membership is self-paced, or do you guys have everyone in an implementation track that is paced by leadership? So it's a little bit of both. It's first of all, it's a program, not a membership. So our goal is to get you your rich niche lead system installed in your business as quickly as possible. And so that process is a little bit different from everyone. And we actually don't measure time, we measure milestones. So what we do is we actually track your milestones in the program, and then we offer specific advice based on the results and the milestones that you are hitting. So while everyone is in the program, everyone's on their own track. There's never behind. Everyone's on their own pace, working on their own things. Some people jump in and they move through the program like quote unquote faster, and they go on to something else. We've had, I mean, I think Michelle in the program, Michelle B, she jokes, she's like, I've been in phase 1 for 9 months now, and she's at like $20,000 a month. So it's whatever you want, which I know is kind of crazy to hear, but that's actually one of the pieces of our client service is we don't track schedules. We work on a tiny promise timeline. So we actually monitor milestones and we monitor results. One of the ways we do that is through our weekly data tracker. So we're keeping a pretty good tab on what you're doing, what you're not doing, what results you're getting, what results you are not getting. And we're just offering different support based on those different steps. So I think that's kind of like a non-answer, but that's the answer. All right, good. Made sense.
Yeah, and the other thing is we do assign one-to-one calls based on where people are at and what they need. So Katie, so I thank you. Thank you for reminding me. Our entire team has their specialties. Candace had to hop off, but Candace is sales, Katie Soy is messaging, Christine really helps with follow-up. Dan obviously is marketing. I'm marketing and mindset. Katie Widrick is systems to scale. So each of us, like this isn't just like coaching coaches. These are like all of us are marketing experts in different areas. And this truly is how we are different, and why we say we're a service, because we sit down every Tuesday to talk about our clients and to see what they need. And it truly is a service.
Anyone want to talk through? I mean, I got a few more minutes. And anyone can hop off. Like, I think we're kind of done with the presentation, unless anyone has any questions. But if anyone want to kind of like jam on marketing and talk through any ideas, I'm open to chat for a few minutes. Anything to delay going to the dentist with the 2 children. But yeah. Oh, Becca, good luck. All right. Bye, Jenny. Good seeing you. All right. Well, if you have submitted an application, we will be reaching out. If you have not booked a call already, we'll be reaching out to book that call. Are you a one offer or suite works well? I'm not, Tiffany, can you ask it again? Thank you, Sarah. Awesome. Jess says, oh, Tiffany. Okay. Yes. So Tiffany, this is actually a common problem where people get some momentum with one offer and then they're like, oh, for me to make more money, I need more offers. So anything can work. So I'm not going to say like you can't do anything, but we like to focus on one offer and scaling that one offer up to tens of millions of dollars. And so I would probably just kind of double down the focus on that one offer. It doesn't mean we can't sell it a different way. It doesn't mean there can be just some different iterations, maybe a low dollar, a high ticket, we can play with it. But where people, and I'm generalizing here, but where people get a little bit confused is when they start offering different offers to different people with different messaging. It makes their messaging feel convoluted, which confuses their audience. And then it just screws up everything. And then not only are you selling less of the new thing, you're selling less of the old thing. So that's really what we want to protect ourselves from. So that is something we focus on a lot. It's like, okay, if we are going to do something different, we have to keep our eye on the prize of what's working well and not kind of to get distracted. Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. Can't wait to chat. Jess, I feel like I get stuck choosing the audience I want to talk to because I have no framework for what is effective and profitable. Any suggestions to make that more tangible? So Jess, I think one of the uncomfortable answers I would give you is you have to start extremely simple and just talk to anyone that will talk back to you, and figure out what it is that they talk about that interests you so that you can try to figure out if there's a problem there that you want to solve. And if Katie or Nicole, if you guys have anything to add to that. And then, yeah, and I don't know, Jess, if you want to open up, but where we would go from there is we start one-to-one. And so I would probably, like, if I was in your shoes, I would just start selling it one-to-one, like sell one-to-one access to me, sell it via one-to-one sales call, figure out how that goes, and then just like slowly start to optimize it, improve it from there. That's kind of like the unsexy answer, but if that was the question, that would be my answer. Christian asks, I'm running ads already 7 months in and want to ramp up a lot. What percentage of sales is a good limit on ad spend? So Christian, what we look at is return on ad spend. The minimum return on ad spend that I accept that I want is 3 times. That is, if you're running a 3 times return on ad spend, it sounds good, but you're really not profitable in my experience, because you have team, you have delivery costs, you have payment failures, you've got life. For me to start scaling up my ad spend, I really want to be between 7 and 10 times return on ad spend. So last about a year and a half ago, we were spending about $3,000 a month on Facebook ads. And then we really kind of dialed in our messaging, and I increased our ad spend 50% a week for 12 straight weeks. And we went from $3,000 a month to about $6,000 a week on ad spend. And we kept a 5 to 10 times return on ad spend. And the reason why I kept increasing the ad spend is we kept making more money. So I don't really look at a limit. I really look at return on ad spend. And if I can keep making more money with ads, I will keep spending more money on ads. Cool. Thank you, Christian. Glad it helped. All right. Well, where should we go from here? Any other questions before we wrap? Awesome. Great, Christian. We'll make time. We'll make time to chat. All right. There's the application again. Go fill it out. Book a call on the thank you page, and I will be chatting with you tomorrow or Monday. But can't wait to chat with all of you. If you do have any questions, you can always shoot us an email, hi@NicoleCulver.co, and we can answer any of those questions. But yeah, awesome. Well, great, Vicky. I can't wait to chat. Yeah, Liza, this was recorded. We're definitely, we recorded it for our clients because we told them they would. I think we made the internal decision that we would be releasing a recording, but we are going to charge for the recording. But we are going to meet as a team after this, and we will give you the official decision within a few hours. Because yeah, we obviously wanted to make sure that everyone was on here, got to see it. We definitely wanted to record it for our clients. And I think we're going to be releasing it, but we are going to ask some type of commitment to it's not going to be a lot of money, but it's going to be something, just because we don't want to just give this away, because this was, I think, extremely valuable. Hopefully other people agreed. Okay. All right, everyone. Well, we are perfectly almost on time, so I'm going to wrap unless anyone had any other questions. Like I said, if you booked a call, we'll be chatting shortly. If you do have any questions, shoot us an email, hi@NicoleCulver.co. And also, if you do have any questions, just go ahead and book a call and we can chat through it. And if you would, I'd love to see an aha or a takeaway in the chat before you hop off. What was one aha or takeaway from the training? Or, you know what, if you have something you could implement, that would also be really cool. So a takeaway, an aha, or something you're going to go implement. Put that in the chat, and then you're free to go. Oh, thank you, Shoal. I just saw your message. Oh, Krista, that's amazing. So much growth since joining LA. Didn't even see it all until this helped me rewind a bit to where I was. Awesome. Thank you, Megan. Oh, wow, this is cool. Thank you, Jennifer. Oh, lost in a sea of modules. See, this is why you got to talk to your clients. That's great copy, Jennifer. I'm stealing that, and that's going in the email. Oh, awesome. All right, everyone. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you all for being here. This was amazing. And yeah, hopefully we'll be chatting tomorrow and see you inside Elevate next week. All right, talk soon.